Do you guys feel lonely and bored traveling here in the Philippines? And are you looking for someone like a Filipina to accompany you and be your tour guide? Then you might need to rent a holiday girlfriend here in the Philippines. But Steph, what is it? How does it work? And what are the risks and realities that foreigners need to know before jumping into this kind of arrangement? Hello there, beautiful people! Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Steph. I'm a Filipina who loves to share everything about the Philippines. So if you guys are interested, please don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so now let's talk about what is holiday girlfriend. Well, holiday girlfriend, guys, is actually a casual relationship where a foreign tourist here in the Philippines spends time with a Filipina during his stay here in the Philippines. And this arrangement can actually last for a few days, weeks, or however long the foreigner is visiting or staying here in the Philippines. But how does it happen? Well, you can actually find a holiday girlfriend in Philippines and you can meet them in a tourist hotspot such as places like Boracay, Cebu, or Manila, or also through dating apps or social media. Why do some foreigners and Filipinos actually choose to this kind of arrangement or this kind of, casual setup? Well, for me personally, I believe from the foreigner's perspective, I guess it's because of convenience. So there are some foreigners who want to go here in the Philippines. They might not looking for a long-term relationship or serious relationship, and they just prefer to be with someone who knows the local culture, who can tour them around, who can travel them around, and at the same time, with an exchange of financial situation, like the Filipina gets what she wants from a foreigner, which is the money, obviously, and then in return, the foreigner or the expat tourist would get sexual desires or benefit from the Filipina that he is renting. And also, some foreigners wants to do this kind of setup is because aside from not wanting to commit into a serious relationship with a Filipina is because as well they want to avoid being lonely or bored in their travel. So I know that there's a lot of foreigners travel here in the Philippines, especially during Christmas, is because they just want to explore the Philippines and then they don't want to get bored, they don't want to get lonely. That's why they would take risk in finding or renting a Filipina for a week or a few days or 1 month, or depends on how long is the foreigner staying here. And usually the older ones in their 50s or in their 60s actually do this kind of setup because again sometimes they tend to feel really lonely and sexually frustrated and they don't want to be romantically involved with a Filipina or commit to a serious relationship, so they want to do this and they wouldn't really spend how much money that they're gonna have to pay for the Filipina as long as he has someone to accompany him, which is, I know it actually really happens a lot here in the Philippines, especially around Angeles City, where most of the Filipino women there tend to be more open-minded and they are actually okay in this kind of setup. And aside from avoid loneliness and also aside from not wanting to commit into a serious relationship, some foreigners want to have this kind of setup is because they are just really curious of how is it like to date a Filipina. Maybe they have heard from other friends or from their, from YouTube that Filipinas are the best wife, Filipinas are the best girlfriend in the world. So before they will be romantically involved or get into a serious relationship with a Filipina, they want to explore first or try first how to rent a Filipina here in the Philippines for them to know what are really the difference, the dating a Filipina and also dating a Western woman. Alright, so now let's talk about the reason for Filipinas perspective. It could be financial reasons. So some Filipino women actually see this as an opportunity to earn extra money or receive gifts from their foreign partner. So, especially to those people who actually don't have stable job and no matter how many times they apply for a stable, nice, decent job, but still they couldn't apply or they still couldn't get a job, probably because they just finished elementary school. And you know, guys, it's very strict here in terms of your college or if your education, you must really at least senior high school graduate before you can find a stable job or high paying job. And sometimes Filipinas think that their job don't compensate well, so they would go for an easy money. So they are totally fine being a holiday girlfriend, especially with a foreigner, because they know that foreigners can be very generous and can help them with their finances as well. Also, guys, the other reason, it could be adventure and experience. Like other Filipinas actually enjoy the company with the foreigner. And let's just say that Filipina that you are renting, maybe in her previous relationship didn't work out, and she's still trying to heal. She's still trying to get through a breakup. So she doesn't want to just stay at home to move on. So that's why she's not gonna cry over a Filipino anymore. That's why she wants to try how it's like to date a foreigner and wants to, maybe get to know the different culture as well by dating a foreigner. Okay, so now let's talk about the pros and cons of holiday girlfriends here in the Philippines. Well, for the pros, obviously, it's the companionship. So both parties get to really enjoy each other's company, which would definitely make your trip more enjoyable and memorable, guys. So, you get to be with a Filipina and she gets to be with you. And then the second one is cultural exchange. Well, obviously, being with a Filipina, as a foreigner, you will get to learn more about the Philippines from a local perspective, while the Filipinas also get to experience a different culture through their partner, or also to enhance or improve her communication skills by being with a foreigner. And the next one is flexibility, guys. Well, since it is just a short-term setup, then obviously there is no long-term commitments involved in this kind of holiday girlfriend setup, because which is also good, guys, because especially if you're just renting a girlfriend, let's just say you finally rent this kind of Filipina or this Filipina, but you actually don't really like her. Maybe she's not, she's not fun to be with, she's boring, and also she's not your type and you're not physically or sexually attracted to her. So it's very flexible, because you can actually tell her right away that you don't actually like her and you don't enjoy being with her. So you can actually pay her and your agreements with each other are done. It's already finished. So now it's time for you to look for another Filipina. Or in fact, guys, you can actually find or rent different and multiple girlfriends, however, whenever, and wherever you want. You will have a girlfriend from Manila, you will have a girlfriend from Cebu, you will have a girlfriend from what I call this, Davao. So it's very flexible. You can actually just rent, and basically you are the prize, because some Filipinos tend to get really desperate to have this kind of job, especially there is a money involved. So you are the prize, and they are totally fine. Some of them, I'm not trying to say all, but some of them actually really okay if you are renting different Filipinas at the same time. Maybe you can have like a threesome or even foursome or whatever. It just really depends on your agreement, actually. Okay, so now let's talk about the cons of this kind of holiday girlfriend setup, guys, which is the first one is very, very risky, because it's gonna be the emotional risk. Okay, eventually, guys, especially if you've been together, if you are renting her for a few months already, then eventually feelings can be developed. And that would lead to maybe misunderstanding or heartbreak, especially if one of you actually takes the relationship more seriously, So maybe you end up falling in love with your Filipina, or maybe she end up falling in love with you. So that would really cause a misunderstanding and heartbreak. And who knows, maybe you're just renting and taking advantage of each other, but we don't know. You guys end up actually being the soulmate of each other. So just be mindful that in this kind of setup, what usually really happens is they end up marrying each other or having kids with each other because they have invested too much time, effort, and also emotional feelings, or also the physical touch and money in their relationship. So eventually feelings can grow and develop, and the jealousy thing will, or the tampo thing will arise. So maybe you as a foreigner, you don't want to see your Filipina that you are renting to be with another foreigner or to be with another Filipino, and then at the same time she doesn't also want you to be with another Filipina. So it can be risky and can really create problem and a lot of drama. Second cons for this, guys, is stigma. So some people actually tend to judge Filipinas who are involved in this kind of setup. They call bad names to Filipina about Filipina is bitch, Filipina is escort, this girl is, like prostitute, or calling her bad names. And at the same time, some Filipinos as well would think that you are exploiting the Filipina, you are using her, or you are just here in the Philippines looking for sex, and maybe your future girlfriend will not trust you anymore because of this kind of setup that which you rented a Filipino girl. So the stigma is just really, really bad. Other con, guys, is financial misunderstandings. So let's just say you promise to the Filipina that you're gonna pay her this kind of amount of money for the 2 weeks that you guys are together, and then after 2 weeks of staying and being together with each other, you just left her, you just left her alone and you didn't even pay her. So she will get really frustrated with that, and yeah, you just be careful with that, guys, because some Filipinas tend to really desperate, and maybe she's gonna do something very bad that's gonna make you be the bad person, and instead of going back to your country, you might end up going to prison here in the Philippines. And the other cons for this one, guys, is she might end up getting pregnant. Okay, so let's just say you've been having fun for 2 weeks being together, 3 weeks, or 1 month, or a few months being together, and then she see that you have money, she can see that you have potential to be a father because maybe you can financially support the kid. So she will end up being pregnant. Like, you guys already agreed that she will take pills, or she will have birth control pills or anything like that, and then actually she's not drinking it, she's not taking it, and you guys are not using condoms, so she might end up having a baby or get a pregnant. So instead of just having fun on your trip here in the Philippines, you might actually end up having commitment with that Filipina because she gets pregnant. Definitely this kind of setup, guys, or renting a Filipina can be a fun experience, but me personally, I believe that this is not for everyone. So if you are someone looking for just a short-term relationship, just always make sure that all the agreements are cleared and you guys are really understanding each other's boundaries, setting up boundaries, especially when you are with a Filipina that doesn't really speak English that much, and maybe you guys have a misunderstanding or miscommunication. If you want, you can actually look for someone in the bar or in the club, or even on social media or online dating apps. How about you guys? What do you think about the holiday girlfriends here in the Philippines? Have you ever experienced it, or have you witnessed this type of arrangement? And how was your experience? Please feel free to comment down below. I would love to read your comments. If you guys like my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the like button. See you guys in my next video. Bye!